Alright, today we're going to take a look at Chapter 4, Lesson 3, which is talking about multiplying and dividing monomials. So let's go ahead and get started here. We are on page 77, so if you have your workbook with you, go ahead and take out page 77. So we're going to start with this little post-it in the side here. It says, circle the vocab word defined below. Any number that is less than 0. What would that be? Think about that for a second. Any number less than 0. Wouldn't that be a negative number? So I'm going to circle that. Okay, this part up at the top, we're going to do a quick getting started section. So if you glance through the textbook pages, so this is 4-3 in your textbook, we're supposed to describe these properties in our own words. So this is a great summary of the whole lesson altogether. So the product of powers, powers property means when you're multiplying numbers that have exponents on them, if the base is the same, all you have to do is add the exponents. So let's say 4 squared and 4 to the 4th power. So that would be 4 squared, 4 to the 4th power. You add the exponents, so you end up with 4 to the 6th power. That's the answer, 4 to the 6th power. Here, when it says quotient of powers, to divide powers with the same base, subtract the exponents. So let's say you've got 6 to the 3rd power and 6 to the 1st power. You would take 3 minus 1, and the answer would be 6 to the 2nd power. We'll go through examples, but that's a great summary of the whole lesson. So for this real-world link, it says here the playing field in football is 120 yards long, 53 1/3 yards wide. Recently, a local high school cleared a rectangular area that measured 2 to the 7th yards long and 2 to the 6th yards wide to make room for a new football field. How would you find the area of a space that was cleared here? Okay, when we're finding area, what do you think the formula for area is? Isn't that length times width? So how would you find the area? I'm going to say, let's use a different color here. Move me down here for a second. I'm going to use red. And I'm going to type it because I think that's a little easier for me in this small space. So I'm going to say multiply length times width to get the area. Now it's saying, what are the length and the width? Well, the length was just given up here. What was the length? 2 to the 7th power long. So we're going to say, I might have to just write that. I don't know if I can. Oh, I think I can do exponents. 2 to the 7th power long. And for width, we're going to do, what's that? 2 to the 6th. So 2 to the 6th power. Then it says, write an expression that can be used to find the area for the space. Well, we just said area is length times width, right? So maybe what I could do is I could say 2 to the 7th times, I don't really need a parentheses, do I? I mean, 2 to the 6th. I don't really need a times symbol. I feel like we're good now. We probably don't even need the x there. We could say area equals length times width. We know now that letters next to each other or numbers next to each other imply that they are multiplied if you've got something like this, the parentheses here. So it says, what is the expression from exercise 3 written as a product of its factors? Written as a product of its factors. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. What this means is we're going to write this whole thing out. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's an easier way to do that. Maybe I will use the x now. I'm trying to think. Okay, a product of its factors means 2 to the 7th power would mean 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that whole thing, so I'm going to put this in parentheses, because that's 2 to the 7th, And now we need to do times 2 to the 6th. 3, 4, 5, 6. Goodness. Okay. How could you rewrite this using exponents? So can we see now, if you take a look at this, what do you think? How could you rewrite this using exponents? So we've got 7 of them here and 6 of them here. Can't we just shorten that up and say, well, what's 7 plus 6? Isn't that 13? So we could say, whoa. Sorry. We could say 2 to the 13th power. That's a way to shorten it up. It says, how is the exponent from exercise 4 related to the exponents from exercise 3? So what they're saying is, how did we get a 13 here? How is 13 related to the 7 and the 6? So we could say, I'm going to say the resulting exponent is the 7 and 6 added together. Does that make sense, guys? I'll move myself out of the way here. I can shorten that up. Hey, looks like I'm playing football. So I don't know if this makes sense here. You can write down in your notes or something. If you want to write that a different way, you can. But I'm thinking, how is the exponent from 4 related to the previous ones? I think that's just added together. It says here, is the area that was cleared large enough for a regulation football field? Explain your reasoning. Well, regulation football field, I think what we're going to have to do is find this area here, right? So we're going to say space cleared equals 2 to the 13th power. What is that? Can you guys grab a calculator? What is 2 to the 13th power? 2 to the 13th power. I got 8,192 yards squared. Square yards, right? So now we could say, okay, well then what's the regulation field? How would we do that? Regulation field was, let's go up to the top here, guys. Top as in right here. Regulation field is 120 yards long by 53 1/3 yards wide. So we're going to say here 120 times 53 1/3. I don't know how to do 1/3. Plus 1/3. I know you can probably type this into your calculator better than I can. So what I'm going to do to plug this into my calculator, I'm going to do 53 fraction 1/3. Okay, so let me blow this up here so you can see this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug it in like this. So I use this button, so I hit this button each time. So I put 53, hit this button, 1, hit this button again, 1/3. So now when I hit enter, it says 53 1/3. I'm going to take that times, what do I have here? 53 1/3 times 120. So I'm going to hit times 120. I get 6400 as my answer. Is that what you guys got? I hope it is. 6400 yards squared. So the question is asking, do they have enough? I would say here, sorry, I'm looking just to make sure I did that right. I'm thinking if this is what they cleared off, this is what they need, they've got plenty of space. So we can say, I'm going to just give myself some space here. I'm going to say, is the area that was cleared large enough? We can say yes. Whoa. That's why. I'm going to undo this. Yes, the space is large enough. For an explanation, I would say C work, because we already did all that work. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to the next page, and let's take a look at this. Alright, so for this part it says fill in the blanks to find each product. Do you see how it says 4 to the third, 4 to the second? So in our boxes here, I'm going to see if I can write this out. I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I'm going to have to blow this up a little bit bigger. So we're going to see 4 to the third. I'm going to plug a 3 in here. And 2 here. I know it's kind of fuzzy, but hopefully you can see that. And then that equals what? So 4 to the 3 plus 2, 4 to the 5th. Alright. How about the next one? So this says 2 to the 5th, 2 to the 3rd, gives us 2 to the 5th plus 3rd, and 5, 6, 7, 8 is the result, right? Let's do another one. So 5 to the negative 3rd, 5 to the 6th. So negative 3rd, positive 6th, so we would add those together. I'm going to do negative 3, positive 6, and what is this? 6, 5, 4, 3. So positive 3 would be our answer. How about this next one? Alright, let's do this. So this is saying what is everything out in front? We've got a 2 and a negative 2y squared, negative 3y to the negative 5th power. So we already have the y represented. Let's put that stuff out in front. 2 times negative 3. What is 2 times negative 3, guys? Or do I just write that? Maybe I'll just write that. 2 times negative 3. Alright, and then the exponents are positive 2 and a negative 5. Positive 2. I can do better. Positive 2 and a negative 5. Alright, now what is 2 times negative 3? 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, right? Negative 6y. And then 2 plus negative 5 would give us negative 3. Negative 6, I think I did that right. That was a lot going on. I just want to check that one. Yep, we nailed it. Nice job, guys. Okay, so the next one here, got a lot going on. 5x, negative 6, 3x to the negative 2nd. Let's write it all out. So in this first box, let's put the coefficients. So we're going to do 5 times 3. So I'm going to write down 5 times 3x. We've got negative 6 and negative 2. Negative 6 and negative 2. Alright, so negative 6 and negative 2. So 5 times 3 is 15, right? X. What's negative 6 plus negative 2? Isn't that negative 8? Alright. Okay. Let's take a look at the next section here. Cross out the one that does not belong, then state the relationship among them. Okay, we've only got 2 minutes left here until my time runs out. My time runs out at 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause right here. We'll finish this in the next video, okay? So take a look at video number 2 to finish this, this example here.